Hello, beautiful people. My name is Kristen. Thank you for stopping by my channel for a little talk about some sci-fi classics. So if sci-fi was one of your hots, one of your things that you're really into, you're really going to want to pay attention to these because honestly, I have just this month read/listened to every word of 4 awesome classic sci-fi books, and I think they're amazing and look forward to sharing them with you. So I started off with H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Now, I have seen a movie of this, but it's even been a really long time, so I couldn't even remember the details, and I honestly couldn't. I would have to rewatch the movie to even compare it. So it was like a brand new adventure to me. This is the story of a gentleman who comes before a group of other gentlemen trying to explain how he has created successfully a time machine and has been traveling in time and wants to share this story with them. And it goes into a lot of detail. It goes forwards, backwards, way forwards, into the future, and describes in detail. It gives really specifics into what are the parameters, how does the time machine work. It doesn't just give broad, this is an imagination kind of thing. I mean, it goes into a lot of science, and so I can really appreciate why people will say H.G. Wells is kind of the founding father of the sci-fi realm. But the adventures were great, and the imagination is just really high. And so you are very much invested in what's going to happen, trying to ponder kind of that Star Trek issue of what happens when we do encounter other species or other situations that are scientifically different than what we're used to. How do we gauge that? How do they gauge us? So Time Machine was and it's not a very big book. So if you're looking for kind of a classic to start, it's not a bad place to start. Now, one day when I was in Half Price Books, I came across another H.G. Wells, The First Men in the Moon. And I thought it was a really cute copy, not a very big classic either. And so I've had this one on my shelf for quite a while. So having had great success with The Time Machine, I said, I'm going to pick up another H.G. Wells. And I also, all of this can be downloaded for free, the classics to listen to. So I could listen in the car and then go back and read some in the book itself. And so this was another really fun sci-fi classic. It is basically the story of a scientist who is just trying to discover new elemental properties or prove science kind of facts and theories, and not really even thinking through the application. Whereas another gentleman comes up and says, oh, you are trying to prove a substance that defies gravity? I could think of all kinds of ways to make money off of that. They end up kind of partnering and spurring each other on to end up on the moon. This is not really the spoiler part of the book. I do spoiler-free reviews. But they end up on the moon. And then this is a couple decades before, the United States even landed on the moon for the first time. So all this is the imagination of what actually is on the moon, what happens within the moon, hence the in the moon. And it is just so enthralling. And then when I thought the book was going to wrap up, there's a whole nother third of the book that goes into this whole new direction. And I thought, wow, that's really unique and different. So the fact that H.G. Wells had all of these new thoughts and ideas and adventures that hadn't probably happened in other books previously is just really, really amazing. Then I only listened to his book, The Invisible Man, because that was like a suggestion, right? Because now I'm pulling up all these H.G. Wells books. So it says, hey, if you like that, you should listen to this. So I did, The Invisible Man. So here we encounter a group of people that comes across a man that's basically invisible. And then we get back in forth in time between the past as to what had happened to this man, who is he, what's going on, and then also, going along at a future timeline of what's happening now that he's been discovered. And then, y'all, it did that H.G. Wells thing where I've just decided this is kind of his thing. You go along and all of a sudden there's a plot twist. So you're going along and there's this plot twist, and it would be spoilery because it's another small book, so I won't say what it is, but it happens, and I will just say that it gets pretty dark. And if you know me, I sometimes, like what's dark for me is probably less dark for you, okay? I don't handle dark, but it was dark for me. But I was there for it. Like I thought, oh, this is creepy. This is sinister. This is a good October, fall into winter, leaves falling off the tree, everything dying kind of book. So that is my little plug for The Invisible Man. Now, I got a little confused because I knew on my shelf that I did own a book that I thought was The Invisible Man, but no, it was The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. So, different author, and actually a very different story. I thought, oh, well, is this going to be a similar story? No, not really so much. This story is another really great, creepy, futuristic kind of... Okay, so the man is covered in tattoos that were put on him by a mysterious kind of magical woman. And when people see the tattoos, or at least longer, if you look at them, they will start to tell stories. They will move and whisper, and they will tell you stories that are going to happen like in the future. And almost all of it is not good for mankind, not good for the human race. It's always like, this is going to take over, or this is going to be adapted, or this is the end, and creepy happenings of people backstabbing one another, those kind of stories. And then whoever is witnessing this story kind of gets sucked in a little bit. Like it becomes personal to the people that are interacting with the Illustrated Man. So it's like a curse, or one of those like a Twilight Zone episode. Like it reads like a Twilight Zone episode, like oh, and now this tattoo is going to be about you and your future. Like, whoa! So it is creepy in such a great way. And I, again, really love the imagination. It's very dark. It's very disturbing. It's very and again, this is written, several decades ago. So it's like, some of this is like really close to home. Like some of these things that he's saying are way in the future, or beware of the future, are kind of happening, y'all. They're kind of happening. So it's like, woo! So if you are ready for like a sci-fi, kind of creepy, maybe even dark in some kind of dystopian future ways, I totally recommend all 4 of these books. They're all 5-star, in my humble opinion. I just think that there are so many great things about the characters, about being sucked in. Certainly the imagination, the creativity, easy, quick read, page turners. You want to know what happens. And mostly just such respect for laying groundwork into all of the sci-fi, futuristic kind of books that we received after these authors left their mark on the writing world. So there you have it, my sci-fi adventures for the past month. Hope that you are inspired to pick up a book, whatever it is. If you have read any other H.G. Wells or Ray Bradbury's that you love, drop them in the comments, because I have read a couple others, but I'm now thinking that I'm just really jiving with these authors. So I'm now on the hunt for even more that I haven't encountered up to this point. Y'all have a great day. Happy reading. Take care.